I haven't done one of these in a while. With my old mate Andy Wood. Yeah, how are you, mate? Good.
Yeah, mate, not bad, not bad. Just kind of same old, really. People ask me how I'm doing. I never know really what to say.
Yeah, well, you're in a bit of a tough situation at the minute, aren't you? Which we'll get to.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, let's get to it and share your story and see if we can, help some other people at the same time as see if we can, obviously help you.
yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
perfect, mate. Sounds
All right,
good.
mate. So I guess we're talking about mental health here. So where does your story kind of begin? I guess.
Well, to be honest, I think I've only really noticed it since the brain infection.
Right.
In terms of actual it being a problem. I mean, I always knew from an early age I was definitely like the most sensitive one out of the family, out of
Right.
the class. Like I always knew it, but it wasn't like a big problem. I mean, yeah, with like Langley, what it was like big.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how we know each other, obviously. For anyone that doesn't know that. I
Boys
mean, mate,
school.
I've always known you as like the I always thought you was a bit of a quirky kid.
What? I mean,
Indie
to be
quirk. You
fair,
and
to be
you and
fair, yeah.
Andy Hamilton, mate. I loved used to
Oh
like. I
yeah.
used to love that guy, man. I don't even know
Well,
what he
to be
does
fair,
now.
he went on to be a clown. Actually, he's back. I met him for the first time in God knows how long, 5 years. Still a good lads, still quirky.
Mate, I loved
So
it,
yeah,
mate.
we were kind of weird. I mean, I still am weird, to be
Not
fair.
weird, not weird, not weird. But just the indie. Do you know what I'd call you? The guitar boys.
Yeah, I haven't touched one
Like
of them
just
in
yeah,
ages
like the
as well.
indie
Yeah,
guys, like yeah, like
yeah, yeah,
Arctic Monkey kids.
yeah. Do you know what? I hate indie now. Hate indie
Yeah.
now. I haven't touched a guitar in ages. Hate Andy Hamilton. No, I'm joking. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
no, that's
I
that's
never
a
thought
fair
like
representation. That's a fair representation. I
that's
had the
my
long
that's
hair,
my that's
mop
my
head.
weird representation, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, I'm like I say, mate. I always thought you were like,
Because
jolly
you were the
happy
year
kid.
above, weren't you? You were the
Yeah,
year above.
but I,
So I
yeah,
saw you as the cool guy, like
really no,
like the
mate. I
bit of
was
the part of the like rough kind of not rough, but like I don't want to upset him.
what? No, not me, mate. I was the fucking,
That's what I saw,
I was the melt one
that
that
was
just
very
pretended I was someone else.
yeah, but that was me being a little mophead, scared of everyone.
Pretty boy versus the rocker kids, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that literally
Yeah,
sums
mate. I
up
just thought
perfectly.
you was always just that a happy guy, man. Like I'd always see you and say hello to you, and you'd be
Yeah, yeah,
jolly
we
and
always got
and
on well,
and
especially like
yeah,
as we got older and started seeing each other out a little bit more. And I think we had like ties because you know people down Old Wills, I know people down Old
yeah,
Wills. For anyone who doesn't know, that's like a cricket club, a football club, and we played football there, and you played cricket there.
yeah.
So we had like similar friends. So yeah, we always got on well. And I think in Beckenham, everyone knows everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
God, like Patrick's is like you couldn't go 1 foot without seeing someone that you knew, really. So,
Mm.
which is yeah, good, I guess.
Well,
But
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, we've sort of spoke about it loads of times before, and that that environment that we ended up in, done nothing good for me, really. You know,
right, yeah,
much as I loved it, like it's just that environment is not it's not healthy. I don't think so. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not like I said before. I'm not surprised that anyone, any bloke, woman, whatever, um, suffers with mental health living in that place. You know.
for sure, for sure. It's funny actually. It was New Year's just gone. So I'm not drinking at the moment. I'm on God knows a gazillion like medicine, anti-seizure, anti-epilepsy. We don't know if it's epilepsy, but we don't know what it is. That's wrong with me at the moment. That's what they're trying to figure out. But I'm on so much medicine that I can't drink at the moment, which we'll get onto later. But I was at New Year's, and people coming up to me like, I don't know how you're doing it. Like, it's amazing that like you're here. You're like not drinking. I looked like I was drunk because I was that quirky kid.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, they're coming up and being like, "Oh, it's amazing." And one person came up to me, and I remember it because I had the whole room in view, and he was here chatting away to me off his tits. And he was like, "What you've been through, and like the fact you're here, and like this, that, and the other." And I went, "You say like me?" I was like, "Well, these are all my close mates. There's about 20 of us." And I pointed at every single one. I said, every single one of them has suffered or is suffering with something. So don't like like right now with the brain infection, it's like maybe kind of the thing that's out there that everyone can see at the moment. That's open for everyone to see on Instagram or whatever. But there's people, obviously, I won't go into names or whatever, but everyone in that room was suffering from something or had something in the last few years, and they pulled through, and they're pulling through. And yeah, so I mean, I'm proud of all of them, but we're all suffering. Like everyone is. It's
Yeah, and
sad.
that's the thing. And I mean, it's mad because since this Men of the Hill thing started, you get like it's funny because you get people that like things all the time, like react to things and send emojis or whatever to things, and then you think is this guy suffering because he's the one that keeps liking it, he's the one that keeps but doesn't ever say anything. And
Yeah.
there's some people that just don't say a thing at all, and just
It's people have
because
different
people that
reactions, don't
like
they?
it, people react, and to me that says that's hitting home to you, or you might just be liking it because you're showing support, obviously, but someone that doesn't actually say anything and keeps hitting the button, obviously it could be a cry for help, and that's how many different people are obviously suffering, and it's mad, like absolutely mad that there's that amount of people that and numbers that
It's
we
a
just don't
fraction.
even
It's a fraction we know.
yeah, exactly, and then the rest don't say a thing. So
And
tell me,
yeah,
mate, how did all this come about with the brain infection stuff?
well,
And was it out of nowhere? Did something happen? Like,
so I
what's the story
remember.
behind that? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no worries. I remember I went on. I had a big summer, as we all did with the Euros.
Mm,
I mean, I've had a big like 3 years like drinking after my relationship, and yeah, I was drinking a lot. Went traveling, obviously, as you did, which is God. I think I went out every night for 3 months. Like, so yeah, I had a big summer, drinking all the time, and then it got to bank holiday at the end of August, and I'd gone out on a Friday, and then 48 hours later, I felt weird on the Sunday, and we were ready for a big Sunday session, as we call them. And I remember just getting into an argument with one of my like best pals, and like I never really do that anymore. The stuff I used to do, like bite, like the old reeling in, and
yeah,
like I
yeah.
never
I
used
mean,
to. I
I'm
used
the
to do it all the
worst.
time. Yeah, I remember I've seen your videos and stuff. I used to do it all the time. I used to be easy bait, but like I got stronger, and I realized to like give it back or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And anyway, so I bit to the point where I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm going home. And I like stormed off like I used to do, like a little sulky baby or whatever.
yeah,
And I slept from 8 p.m. till 11 a.m., which is, I mean, I can be a deep sleeper, but that is mad.
yeah,
Woke up with the worst headache, couldn't see my dad for a walk, had a headache all week, and they were like, my mum were like, not my mum actually, my dad and my sister were like, you need to go to the doctor. So I'm not going to the doctor for a headache. Like, that's stupid. I barely take paracetamol for a headache. I did with this. I had a bag of peas in my head, which someone
yeah,
was like, "You're an idiot," which I am. But yeah, it got to Friday, and I was playing the old PlayStation with the boys, which is how we've found really good to communicate through lockdown and not seeing each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, of course.
And they said that they heard me making weird noises and stuff like that, and they thought that it's just me being weird or whatever. And then they obviously realised, like, let's call the ambulance or whatever. One of my mates lives up the road. He came down and they were like knocking on the door, about to bang it down. And I opened it and I was like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm fine. I had had a seizure, woken up, but this is when it was really, really, really bad. And I was completely delirious. I told them to go away, I'm fine. I kind of remember that. And that was at 2 p.m. And then my flatmate Connor O'Regan, who you may know,
Yeah, I know.
He comes in with his girlfriend at 10 p.m. because he just picked her up from the airport, and opens the door, and my room's on the left, and he sees my phone on my bed, and I'm never anywhere without my phone. I'm that guy. And he's like, wow, what is going on? Finds me in the living room where I am now, on the floor, passed out with blood. Turns out I'd only bit my tongue, thank God.
Right, mate.
But basically, I'd had a seizure, and really bad one. And then the next minute, I woke up to my mum in hospital.
Right.
And without going into too much detail, me and my mum have been not on the best of terms for three years. So I'm like,
The hell's going on here?
This is bad. This is bad. If it was my dad or something, or like my friends, I would have been like, this is bad. But the fact that my mum's here, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, so that was on the Sunday, so 2 days later. And then that week I was pretty much in and out, pretty much out of it, having what's called a tonic-clonic, which is where you violently shake, froth at the mouth, make horrendous noises.
Fuck, mate.
It's basically like ours, the Exodus. The best thing about it, that for me, was that I don't remember it. The worst thing about it for me and for everyone is that they had to see that. Like, my dad and my family had to see that, and I feel so bad for them for having to see that. Everyone was really worried about me, as I mean, you would be.
Yeah, mate.
Like, they thought meningitis. They first thought like the worst. I think everyone's thinking like stroke, whatever, like the worst case scenario. And then I passed all those tests apparently, and then meningitis, which is still not great. But then it was like, right, okay, cool. He's like passed a few tests. Now he's just I think they just lace him with loads of this medicine. And then that second week was horrendous. Easily the worst week of my life. Like, to put into, like, sum up, I was living a nightmare day in, day out for a whole week. Waking up in the middle of the night screaming because I'd had a nightmare, and then looking around like, where the hell am I? And then, like, the nice things about it was that I am quite positive, but I had such amazing support. And like, I'd see texts from people like when I was scared, and it would make me feel like loved. Like, the support, like, I could spend an hour, like a whole another hour episode on the God. I'm like, even my voice is trembling now.
I'm the same. I've been holding it in. So
it's
mate,
so,
that's
like,
mad, and it's bringing back so many
because you obviously had a horrendous
for me,
horrendous. I remember hearing about your accident. I remember driving along the road to a game one day, to one of our Sunday games, and it was like, hey, that's where that Glenn Wheeler. I was like, what? They were like, he had an accident there like not long ago. I was like,
oh, in Eltham,
yeah. So I remember being like, Jesus, wow. Like,
yeah, mate, that is fucking mad, mate.
So what's your comparison to mine?
Well, like, I mean, so you say you woke, but like, I woke up with my mum there. She was in America when it happened, so she came back, and that was like 3 days later, and I'd woken up out of a coma or whatever. And and you say you, like, my mates come to see me, they didn't even recognise me because my face was all bashed up, and I was telling them to fuck off, like, off me nut on morphine or whatever. But yeah, like, that is, yeah, that they had to see me. Like, obviously, it's a complete different scenario, but me, my face it just wasn't me,
Well, yeah,
like
it kind of, yeah, similar, yeah,
similar,
in
but
that
obviously,
sense.
I
But
just
yeah,
they'll always see me and looking like that, and in you know, I have
yeah,
flashbacks and things like that. But I mean, the fact that they had to look at me and fucking
yeah,
barney like
yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah, like that, yeah.
I looked that bad. This guy had got knocked over, run over by a motorbike the same like a day or two later or something. And he comes into hospital and he was like passed out for like 2 days. He woke up and he went like this, saw me in front of him and went,
Well,
fainted again.
okay,
He fainted again. And
yeah.
he was out cold for another day and didn't wake up. And I was like, I was banging
Don't
on
put
me.
that on
I was
you.
banging on my finger, mate, like this geezer, he's just woke up and then he's fainted
Yeah,
again when he saw me.
so
Must
me.
have thought, look at this monster, like,
Do you know I'd done what he did to someone else one night on my one of my nights of absolute well, so they put me on two higher meds where it was like think about the most it was
yeah.
hallucinations to the point where I thought that I had to pick between me or my dad dying.
Oh,
It's
fuck, mate.
so fucked up. I can't explain. I'd gone deaf and blind, and I couldn't really see anything, but it was like 5% or whatever, and everything was spinning, and I had to pick between me and him, and I picked myself to die. And I remember sitting on his lap and kissing him. Me and him actually haven't spoke about this. He's going to see this. So I think this happened. It may not have happened, but this is what happened in my head.
Yeah.
And he's not normally like that type of person. They let him stay late that night. But anyway, he had to go obviously at some point. So he went at 10 p.m. And that night I thought, now I'm going to drift away. I'm going to drift away and die, to the point where I was texting people saying, I love you. Like, you've been amazing. Like, for some reason I felt like fine at one point with dying. Like, it was weird. And then after like half an hour, I was like, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight whatever's going to take me away to death. This is so like messed up. This is how like Barney I've gone. Anyway, I had this nurse next to me all night and she was getting annoyed and sick and tired of me going, am I going to die? Can we get the best doctors in the UK to come and save me? And she was like, yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, there's this guy opposite me, and he wasn't the guy that was there earlier. And he had like a neck brace, and he was really old. And he kept getting up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. And I thought he was going to be the guy that was coming to take me away. So I
Right.
kept saying, screaming, like, he's coming to get me. And bless his heart, all he's like, after a while, he was like, I'm just sick. I just need the toilet. And I was
Oh,
like,
dear, poor sod.
and I felt quite bad as I like woke up in the morning. I was like, oh god, it was
Yeah.
actually just like a new patient, really sick, obviously in that metal neck brace, like looked petrified to me,
Mm.
in that state. But yeah, that week was absolutely horrendous. Like people weren't really, well, they were allowed to see me, but some of them like saw my fits, and it wasn't great. But yeah, that second week was awful, and then the third week they got my meds right. I had this big list of like people. My best pal Andy Reeves made this list of people who can see me, because it's only two people a day or something, because of COVID. And like I had people fighting over to see me, and people sending me Instagram messages, and I think that actually made this miraculous recovery, because I had the best neurologists coming to see me, and
Mm.
they were like, I can't believe you're recovering this quickly. And it was just like, it was mad. It was like, yeah, obviously the medicine, leveling it out, beating the infection, but I genuinely believe the support and just having everyone, oh god, I was in tears like every day at how like sad everything was, in the bad way, but in tears. Like one of my friends would come in to see me, and I'd see them start crying, and then apparently I'd be laughing, and then we'd be chatting,
Yeah.
and then we'd be laughing. I was like delirious and stuff. But yeah, I made this miraculous recovery, and I was out after like just under 4 weeks, when they thought it's going to be months. But then 3 weeks later, I had a little moment, little what they call a partial seizure, and I was like, huh, right, okay. And then about a month after, on my balcony outside. I had a couple mates over to watch a film. I didn't feel well, and I went outside for what I thought was a good idea to get some fresh air, not thinking I'm going to have another seizure. I have a seizure, I fall over, I've cracked my head, I split my head open, and I woke up, blood everywhere, ambulance, and they've taken me to the hospital. And yeah, he said, "Oh yeah, you've got a 4-inch cut," and I thought he was joking. Well, to the point where I was like, "Yeah, I know the size of 4 inch." I don't know if
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually was 4 inches, and I had to staple my head. And from then, it's been a case of partial seizures, not being able to drink. I didn't want to drink or anything I didn't want to be in a pub for a month. Um, I was quite scared of like stuff like that. And yeah, the medicine was making my sleeping quite hard. I wasn't myself. I was, again, like, anyone saying anything, like my good pal Matt Gagan, like, loves winding, like we love winding each other up. He was winding me up and I was biting, and it's like, what in my head, I don't know, what am I doing? Like, this is not me. Like, and I tell him and I tell everyone to treat me normally, treat me like you used to do. I used to love being, when I got to like mid-20s or like my 20s, I used to love being like the butt of the joke. And I was like, treat me normally. And then they treat me normally. And like, when I come out of hospital, like they all start taking the piss out of me, like say I was doing it for attention and everything.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
sometimes I laugh, and then sometimes I'm like, no, this ain't funny. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's where my anxiety and insecurities and everything, I wasn't me. And I knew it was going to be a case of just ride it out. It's going to be time. I'm going to get back to me. Um, but yeah, since then it's just been kind of getting better in some ways, but worse. And lately it's been getting worse in terms of seizures. I have a big seizure at least once a week. I have partial seizures 2-3 times a day. So yeah,
And what's that? Because I mean, I was speaking to you on Instagram like last week, and you said you was having one or whatever. So what
yeah,
goes on then?
because yeah, that's what I mean about me being on my phone a lot. Like, you were messaging me and I was reading them, and I didn't want to be that guy. I don't like to. You get those people that read them and leave them, or like don't read them. I was reading them. I was like, I don't want to not respond. I was like, so sometimes to my mates, I just go seizure, and then they know, like. So a partial seizure is where I start to get like, it's a weird ringing sci-fi noise in one ear. It could be either ear, just one.
Right.
And then it goes down to my arm, and it'll be tingling.
Right.
And yeah, I'll go deaf. For like, probably, again, like 5% hear you. You wouldn't tell by looking at me. I'm just there, just quiet. And then that's like for 2 minutes, and then the third minute is like hallucination noises, usually like a scratching record.
Fuck,
And
man.
then back to normal. No headaches and no like weirdness. And then yeah, obviously more to a seat. Like, I can have stuff in between. Then a seizure is obviously me. I can kind of tell that it's going to be a big one. It's like the same, but shooting pains in the arm. But I normally have to do something really wrong for that to happen, like play football, which is what I've done twice. They said I might be able to play football in January, so I took that as in, yeah, I'm gonna play football because I miss it,
Yeah.
and I want to get back to me, and I feel
Yeah.
like getting back to me is going to help me like cure my brain. Turns out no. I've had 2 challenges that have sent me into tonic-clonic, the big seizures, which is the shooting pains, tongue freezes, groaning, frothing at the mouth, shaking. And quite a lot of my friends have now seen it because it's happened at training.
Right.
But yeah, they're obviously very upsetting. I have headaches after. And what was upsetting is, like, I love the NHS, so incredible. Like, especially as an inpatient, the nurses were so funny, and just like
Yeah.
they worked so hard and everything. And My neurologist, like she's a legend, like gives me all the time of day. I've got private healthcare. They're obviously experts. But what's so frustrating is that no one knows what's wrong with me. The neurologists think it's stress, and the psychiatrist thinks it's something in my brain still. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like appointments, I went a month without an appointment over Christmas, and I'm thinking this shouldn't be the case for
Yeah,
someone.
that's right. That's wrong, mate. That
Yeah,
is so
and I had,
wrong.
yeah, and I had a really bad Christmas. Well, I had COVID over Christmas. I spent it with Michael Costa. Oh, I'm joking. I have to take the piss out of him. But no, that was a good little backup to spend it with him rather than on my own. But obviously, I had like family plans and everything. But everyone was struggling with COVID over Christmas, so that wasn't a problem. I had other personal issues that got me down over Christmas, which is just compounded with my health. So yeah, and not knowing what was wrong with me as well. Not going to the gym, which is what I love to do. No, there wasn't any football games playing because of the weather, or we just didn't have any games. So I couldn't even watch my Beckenham Rovers. So yeah, it was just a really, really sad time. I felt lost, abandoned, and just struggling. And people would ask me how I was, and I'm normally like, yeah, sweet, cool. And I still sometimes say that because I don't want them to worry. I don't want them to think like it's awkward, me just turning around and going, no, do you know what? I'm actually not great. And it's like, well, just stepped into their car. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't, do you know what I mean? It's like,
Neggy Nancy's arrived,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You just want to be like, yeah, I'm all right. But my mates do know, and like, obviously, like my
Mate,
family
the
and
thing
stuff
is
like
with that though, like I mean, anyone will tell you I'm the biggest moaner going, like, and if I don't moan, then I'm not. It's not normal. So, so they know. So like, with everyone, I'm just a moaner. So like, if I'm moaning, then I'm getting it off my chest. So like, I would just
That's
always,
good then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
just say it, mate. Don't have to say no. You don't have to say no. I'm not very good. You can just go, no, mate. I've got the and then say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I also think like, they're never gonna go, no, not really, mate. You know, you go, yeah, mate, but
Yeah.
this is fucking
Yeah.
getting on my nerves. Can't
Definitely.
stop thinking like this, or like I could never say no, mate. I'm not really all right.
Yeah.
That is what you should say, but I
Yeah.
just say, yeah, mate, but yeah, mate,
Yeah.
but and then just moan for an hour. Like it's fine, isn't it? Like I mean, listen, I'm the worst for it, but I'm so much better than that. I mean, I've moaned more over the last 3 or 4 years than I
Really.
ever have, and I'm always been a moaner.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I think that's just like in you, and
But
that's
that's the
like
way
fine.
I get
That's who
it
you
out.
are,
That's the way to
and
get it
that's
out,
fine.
though.
That's good. Like you're a good bloke. So then obviously, if you moan, then that's fine. Like in my eyes, like that's not a crime, and that's the way you
I
can
mean,
get
no
stuff
one
off
wants
your
to listen
chest. So
to it all
yeah.
the time. No one wants to listen to it all the time, but you get it out first, and then you can be, you know, you can be
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
again, But
Yeah.
people also understand like what you're going through. I think like
Yeah.
people, for
Definitely.
me, for example, like people know what I've been through and all the stuff that I've had to deal with, so they also understand like there's no wonder this geezer's
Exactly.
fucking a
And at the
miserable
end of the
old
day,
git.
how long is that going to be on their mind? Oh, Glenn had a moan. 5 minutes later,
Yeah,
they've
but
forgotten
even
about it.
they can like
So like,
even if they say Glenn's a moany git, like
yeah,
they know that
yeah,
after they're gonna have the best day ever
yeah.
because I'll just
Well,
be cracking funnies all day.
yeah,
So
exactly. Like
you at one hand it's
you're
good, and one hand the other.
no one's perfect like at all. Do you
Exactly,
know what I
they're
mean?
not, mate. They're not.
You're their pal for many reasons, and I'm sure my friends have got lots of little comments to make about me. And I hear them, and I'm sure I don't hear some of them, and do you know what, that's fine. Yeah,
Mate,
that's
I know, like
that's all cool.
the main thing is for me, like I can acknowledge all of the like. There's things I don't like about myself. I get wound up too easy. I don't like it. Like I,
Yeah,
throw my toys out the pram for little things like. But I know all of the things that my mates would think. you know,
Do you not
yeah,
find?
Glenn's a moaner. Glenn takes things to heart too much.
Yeah.
Glenn, you know, leaves the WhatsApp group when he's got the right hump, and he just leaves it.
Yeah,
Like
God,
even
we've
though
all
it's
done
me,
that, or
even
just
though
me
it's
and
me
you.
who instigates, and it's me who
Yeah,
instigates it, and then
yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes back at me, I don't like it, and then I leave the WhatsApp
yeah,
group.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like this is what it is, isn't it? Like
yeah.
tomorrow's a new day, and then I'll be back in there.
Exactly. Cracking funnies, mate. Yeah. No, that's I've never really thought about that, but yeah, that's a great point.
I just,
I
you know,
think
like I've just gone right, Glenn. What are you? What are the things you don't like and wish you could change? And there is so many things, but then on the other hand, you know, there's the good things outweigh when you really think and you look at yourself and you know what you're good at and you know why you've got the friends that you've got. You know, no one really does that. Everyone's quick to put themselves down, but when you look at, you know, what you've achieved, what you're going through and what
yeah.
you're achieving now, mate, is fucking mad.
Do you
Like
know what?
like
It's so true.
absolutely mad. And like I said, I was fucking close to tears, mate, because it brought things back for me. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was living with headaches and like bad headaches for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I mean, to what you're dealing with is fucking mental, mate. Like, but at least you've got
Yeah.
people around you, and you know, and you say
My
about all the
yeah.
nice messages. I remember all that,
Goes
and
so far,
yeah,
so far, to the point where like I'm now speaking to my mum, which is one of the positives. Although
you
things
know,
haven't been completely ironed out, like that's I was around there last night, which was good. But yeah, what she said, what my dad said, and what like my family said, they said you have got the best mates ever, and I
mm,
obviously probably cried then. And I was like, yeah, no, I do. And then they were like, that speaks volumes of about you. And I'm like, well, like, no, it speaks volumes of like them and back and like each other. And like my family are like incredible. And like I'm sure like your family will say the same about your friends and your friend. Or I know your friends, and they are. And like, I've been out with Australia with some of them, and I've obviously probably met a lot of them in Patrick's, and they're incredible. And to them, like they're incredible. But yeah, my friends were sensational. I'm forever in debt to them, and they're like, "Don't be silly," and all that. But yeah, so I totally get that. I totally get that. The support is everything, and having the friends that we have is the plus side of Langley, because there was obviously a lot of downsides of Langley, but we've
mm.
still got our 15,
Oh
15 to 20 man strong group. Yeah, some have
yeah,
now moved out with their families to like Tunbridge Wells or what or out, but we still got like a lot of them are going to Krakow next month, which
mm,
sadly I'm like one of two that can't go because obviously my situation.
yeah.
Not sure if I can fly because my
No,
head
I
could
wouldn't
explode.
even bother risking that, mate. I
But
can't
I'm that
even.
guy that wants to be there at
But
everything, and
mate, I can't even get. I have to fly all the time, and the flying is the worst thing for me, mate. I
really, why is that
just the head like because just the
head rush?
blocked nose, like throat goes all funny, like, and then my headaches. Oh my lord! If I get a headache, I'm
And is
fucked.
that since your accident? Yeah,
Well, no, like it's been fine, and then last Christmas, not this Christmas, just gone the year before, we went home, and I'd had COVID in October. But just before we flew, I must have got some sort of like I thought I had COVID again. Basically, I had like flu-y, you know, temperature and all that stuff. So I thought, fuck, I've probably got it again. Done a test, it was negative. Get on the plane, slept for like an hour, woke up, and the headache I had. Oh my god, I was like crying out loud on this
really.
plane, and Amy was like talking to
Jeez.
me like a baby, like, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" Like that. And I was like, yeah, like I was fucking screaming. It was so bad. Like honestly, the worst
Maybe
thing
that's
ever.
like just a
Obviously, I
little
might have been
period.
fluey or
Hopefully,
whatever, but
yeah,
then I
yeah.
get on the
Fingers
plane now
crossed.
and I'm like, I get back the other
You
end and I'm just
still,
sick,
uh,
basically. Like I've
which
got
is a
like a
problem
sore
though,
throat
because
and
you've obviously got like what I struggle to would I'd love to live in Australia, but I couldn't live away from my friends, especially that far. So it's just it would be a shame
mm,
if you couldn't fly as much as you can. to get back to
Yeah, like obviously it's not that, but
see.
like it might not happen every time. But now I'm like, I just
Yeah,
dread
fingers
it now.
crossed. Yeah,
I
yeah,
dread it
yeah. That's
now.
not
I'm like
ideal.
pinging like vitamin C down me and
Yeah, that's
multivitamins and shit,
something that I need
headache
to take
tablets,
more of. Yeah,
everything, like to try
yeah,
and like every time we go home at Christmas, it's like just fucking load up on all sorts of
yeah, yeah.
like tablets to try not
And
and
then
get
hope
to
for the
try not and
best.
get ill.
Yeah,
Like, I'm a proper hypochondriac. Like, I can't
yeah.
deal
That's
with it.
what my
I
yeah.
hate being ill. I hate it.
Yeah. See,
Um,
I'm the opposite. I'm the risk taker. If it was up to me, I'm gonna get on that plane. But my dad and my family have said, no, you gotta get clearance from the neurologists and the airlines, and I would take the risk, but I'm trying to become more wiser in my decisions. Like I said, I had a seizure playing football. Don't play football. I play football. I've learnt my lesson then. Last week I was out really late. I thought I could stay out. No, I'm going to go home. I need sleep. So I'm getting better. So going Krakow would be the wrong idea. It's just a shame that there's like 15 to 20 lads, all my boys. So yeah, it will be a shame, but this is sacrifices I've just got to make, I think. You might see me out in Krakow. I don't know, but
Mate, the thing is, like, yeah, like you want to just get back out there, but the thing is, like, another year of your life of just being sensible
yeah,
out of 70 years, 80
so
years of
hard
life.
though.
It
Do you know
ain't
how hard it
when you really
is?
think about it like that, it ain't, is it? Do you know, like
Yeah, yeah. When you say it like that, and that's what a
it
lot of
ain't,
people
and you just
said.
think
Just 1 year,
just for a year, miss of your life, just to do this.
of
Do you know,
course,
like,
and
and I think like,
but to wake up every day and not feel like you, and not feel like yourself, and feel restricted is
oh,
so
mate,
hard.
I hear
It's
you, mate, I
like
hear you.
it's painful, and I've had this conversation, and people say they understand. It's like, no, you don't. Like today, I woke up at fucking 10 or 11 a.m. I mean, that's so late for me. Obviously, when I used to
Yeah,
start at 7 a.m., even though sometimes I'd start at 9, um, like I to stay in bed till that long, I didn't end up getting out of bed till 11, because I can't sleep till late, because I lie in
yeah,
bed for 3 hours, not being
mm,
able to sleep, probably because my medicine. But there's
yeah.
so much on my mind that I lie in bed staring at the ceiling. I've tried a million different things. I've tried podcasts. I've tried like music. I've tried like everything. And I've just lie in bed staring at the ceiling. Even though I've been tired all day, I can't sleep at night. And then I wake up late and I'm on this like horrendous like pattern. I can't remember why I got onto
You
this.
tried lavender?
No, I'm not a big fan of lavender, but I can give
I'm
it a
not
go.
either. And
I'm gonna
also,
give everything a go. So just any ideas.
I mean,
But the thing is,
I
I'm
struggle with
I'm
sleeping, but like lavender spray, like what's those tablets?
thing is, I've got to be careful with tablets
You
because
can't
of my
take
medicine.
tablets, yeah. So you got to be careful. But
So
I mean,
lavender makes
lavender.
sense. Yeah,
But like, I just don't know. Like, the lavender just does world wonder for me, like hundred
yeah.
percent. But then
I can
I
see
don't
how that.
sleep. I don't sleep well. I don't. But I mean, and I
I'm
haven't.
rubbish without sleep. And right
Yeah.
now, with like a brain injury, me and my dad have decided we've tried. We speak every day. I was always a mummy's boy growing up, but I always got on obviously well with my dad. But I'd be my mum. I'd always like sit on her lap till I was 23. No, I'm joking. No, I was always a mummy's boy. But yeah, since I fell out with my mum, and then we got closer to my dad. And then since what's happened to me, he's literally been there for me day in, day out, arguing with the doctors when need be, doing everything. I think he's been through worse than me personally, because he's seen everything that I've been through, and it's his boy. So I think, like, anyway, I can't remember what I was saying about him. This is what also happens. My memory is so terrible. What was I saying? Can you remember?
Well, we were talking about sleeping, so
Yeah. So okay, that's it. So we talk every day, and we're trying to. especially when that month happened where I wasn't seeing anyone. We're talking every day, logging every single seizure, partial, and like, all right, this is a trigger. This is a trigger. Me going swimming was a trigger. Me getting out of a car and walking up to my flat was a trigger. Me brushing my teeth was a trigger. Me watching a film with a friend and then them going to bed and leaving me on my own was a trigger. And it's like, but so many wide variety of things but me and my dad were constantly trying to battle it, and we've decided that now the main thing, the most imperative thing, is sleep and water, which is stuff that I do anyway, but it's now what we really decided. So 8 to 10 hours, and my work have been so cool about it. Like, if you wake up at whatever time, sweet, and just get just plug myself with water. It's the most obvious things, isn't it? Sleep and water for a brain injury. So that's now my plan. So if I do end up going to sleep late, like taking me 3 hours of just lying there staring at the ceiling, thinking about what's my favorite cereal, Rice Krispies or Weetabix or whatever.
Do you know what I do as well?
Stupid.
Do you know what I do as well? I mean, I'm just obsessed with it, and I don't know if you can look at your phone, but I play Scrabble on my phone.
You play Scrabble,
time.
yeah?
All
like
the time,
some sort of game, yeah. I feel like that would get me. Mine would be a Sudoku, but I feel like that would get me too.
I don't know. Like, I sometimes it works the other way. Like, but I just sit there and my eyes start going.
Yeah,
like that.
That's okay.
I don't know if you can do that. Obviously, you don't want to look at a phone all night, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm bad at. I start chatting away with my pals.
But like, I just scrap, mate. I just play Scrabble. I'm just constantly playing it, and then
I'll give that a go. I'll give that on Sudoku's a go. I was giving reading a go, which I've
maybe like pen and paper vibes.
Yeah,
rather than.
Do you know what? Also, I've done.
Like,
I write every night. I do a daily journal. I remember when I first started doing that, I was like, Andy Wood doing like a dear diary. It's like, what? Mate, this is the whole point about the men of the hill. Let's open up these journals, and it's password protected. It's just me. But although I've given a clip to my mate Andy Reeves, when I did have a breakdown like the other day, just so he can help me. But yeah, this is like Dear Diary, and I write about it. Also includes my seizures, so there's a log there. But what I got up to today, how I felt, what this made me feel, what I thought about, and it's like help me get over things, and it's to help me stay positive, because this is the one word that I want to try and like emphasize is positivity about all of this. It's so easy to, when you've got some sort of like brain issue or any health issue or mental issue or everything, we want everyone, the whole idea of this is we want everyone to be positive and believe in themselves. So that's what I don't know, that's why I think this Dear Diary thing can try and it's not called Dear Diary, it's just a journal app or whatever, but essentially it is that.
No, mate, I hear you, mate. I've never been one for like wanting to write down. Like, I mean, I've just started with a life coach myself, right? But he's like, write down 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that you want to achieve today. Got to make me bed in the morning. Take a picture of it. It's got to be immaculate. I've got to send it to him. Like, all stuff like that, And I get up and do shift work and all this stuff, and I'm like, I've got time for all this crap, like. I want to get out, roll out of bed, and go straight to work. Like,
yeah.
But I'm a regimented guy, and everything else, like my clothes are ready in the morning for me. Everything else is regimented. But I haven't got time to sit and when I get on the way to work and write 3 things down. It's nothing. It's just that's gonna align me for the day. And I've only done it for a week, coming up to a week, and I'm like, right,
how's it going?
This is good. Like, sometimes I struggle to think of things I'm grateful for. Like, sometimes I've wrote like stupid things. Like today, I wrote the confidence I have. I'm grateful for the confidence I have. One time I put, IKEA meatballs on Sunday when I was hungover. I was
Quality,
like,
yeah, yeah.
because I just don't. Oh yeah, and today I wrote apples. I bloody love apples. That's what I wrote. Because I'm just loving apples at the moment for some reason. Like I just don't know what to write, And then things to achieve.
Apples are overrated, personally, but
Green ones at the moment, mate. I'm obsessed with
okay.
them.
What, Granny Smiths?
I don't know what they are in the bite, mate. They could be anything, but yeah, they're green ones.
I like that. I like the writing down stuff. I like the routine, and that's what I was trying to get into myself. I was trying to get into my asleep by 11, awake by 7, working. I've now just started football coaching again as of yesterday, which was great. I went back to my old school, my old primary school, which is nostalgia, and I like that. And now I go gym after, and and then back and have dinner, watch the football. I want to get into this routine, not in like you said, regimented. I want to have some sort of flexibility. I'm sure you're not saying like every single day has to be the same, but
No,
I do like some sort of routine. I do like that. But
I'm just like, for me, it's I'm up early. I'm up at 5 in the morning. So if I get my clothes ready in the morning, don't have to get up so early, or I can like it gives me more
yeah,
time. I can, if my towels are, we've got one bathroom in the bedroom, one. If I bring my towels from one to the other and leave it there, it's ready. I'll just go boom, boom. It makes my life easier.
yeah,
Not because it's just more. I can
trying to
get
be
out and walk.
tidy and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
like,
you're
that's a big
tidy,
part of things.
if everything's tidy around you, then your head can be slightly more tidier as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is what I'm trying to do to help people, because I've through unconsciously dealt with all of these things that I've had to deal with, and
So
had
true.
these different ways of dealing with it, but haven't really noticed. I still don't even
It's a
know
big
how I've done
word.
it.
Is unconscious. No, not unconscious. Subconscious. That's the big word.
Yeah,
That throughout the whole of Beckenham, and I mean, I know you say Beckenham schools, all the schools in the surrounding area. I'm thinking England's or maybe London, but that subconscious. There's so much anxiety. There's so much people that are just yearning for self-belief,
self-belief
or
is
some
everything.
confidence, and like it's all subconscious is the key word. Like I said, I knew I was sensitive. I knew I used to cry at anything, or like if the wind changed, I'd be in tears or something. I don't know, but like,
Mate, I did not know that about you.
also,
That's me, mate.
yeah, it's mad, isn't it? You just don't know anything. You don't know about something about someone. And like I said, I looked around the room, and like, you wouldn't know New Year's Eve. Like, you wouldn't know that he was suffering from that. Like, it's just crazy. There's so much stuff that going on behind the scenes, but in terms of people's minds, there's so much subconscious things that may be eating away at them. That like you can, and I want to help Men of the Hill as well in some form, because what's happening with me, I it's it has opened my eyes, and I don't like the idea of like that there's people out there suffering, and I want people to speak up. So yeah, let's make that subconscious conscious, and let's get everyone talking.
Mate, that's
I'm
it.
not saying everyone going around like confidence, like cocky and arrogant. Like, and if you are cocky and arrogant, I've got friends that are cocky and arrogant. And I love them to bits, and like that's
No,
brilliant
but
for
that's
them.
it though, isn't it? Like,
But we're not
that's
asking for that. We're asking for
no,
people to just like
but
at the
that's it. Like,
little
there's
go.
nothing wrong with being cocky or having some arrogance, but
Yeah,
if you can show the
I'd
other
rather
side to
that.
you,
Yeah,
show the other side to you that it's the other side's okay, rather than hiding that.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
anyone that's got that much front, right, has got that much low
yeah,
anxiety or whatever that can go with that. There's
yeah,
no one that can
yeah,
have, the energy that I was putting out with the confidence and arrogance back in the day, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there's no
Yeah.
way that you can, you know, sustain that kind of energy without having a downer. There's no way you could. There's no way you can do it. Like, do people think that these guys, you know, are out and they're like that, and then they go home and sit with their mums the next day when they're off their on, you know, on a come down? Of course they ain't. I mean, there's only one or two people. There's only one or two people that I know that can do that, and I'm
All
not going to
right.
name names. I'm not going to name names.
Just message me after,
I will. I'll tell you who it is. But there's only in fact there's probably only this one guy that I know that can do
I'm
that.
sure I can give you some names as well.
We're probably thinking the same person, but
different.
You know, and it's just you know, we're trying to.
It's do you know what? And there's nothing wrong with. Do you know when I say I'm sensitive? I've always been sensitive. I've kind of been proud of that sensitivity. Like I love Titanic. Like people that know me know that like Titanic and The Notebook. I love those films.
Oh, Notebook's a great
Disney,
film, mate.
I'm like Disney inside out. Like,
me too, mate. Me too. Musicals.
Like, soft. Do you know what? I wish I can see more musicals, but I haven't got a lady. So, although Michael Costa said he wants to start going to some musicals, so
nice.
But yeah, no musicals. They do sound like I love all of that. I love that. Like,
but see, I'm openly,
side.
You know, I'm
and
open
I don't
with all
mind
that
crying
stuff.
sometimes, like, and like especially when it was happening in hospital, I was crying all the time and coming out of hospital and crying. Like I wrote a post which I wasn't sure I was going to write, and I spoke to you, and I think you inspired me to write it. If you remember it, right at the end of the Mental Health Month of October, I wrote that post. That was right from the heart. It was just a case of like, again, I've lost my train of thought, but just this is what my brain does. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, just sensitivity and just I can't remember. This is how my brain goes. I can't believe I haven't slurred yet. I haven't slurred yet or anything.
Mate, your story is mad, mate. It's fucking mad, and
it's a long way to go, but it's just got to keep your head up, keep going, look for the positives. And yeah, I remember when it was my birthday soon after I got out, and my auntie, bless her, they did a 30th birthday, the four of us, my auntie, my dad, and my sister. And I went through the door thinking it was an out of hospital party, and then there was loads of 30th. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 30. So it's the weirdest 30th ever because I was still a bit delirious. And she gave me a Beck's Blue, and I was like, there's no way a Beckenham boy is drinking a non-alcoholic beer. I was like, thank you. I was like, my friends would beat me up. I was like, I'll beat myself up. And I was obviously all joking and stuff, but I was like, I'm not drinking that. Now I'm like, I'll go straight to the bar. I go, what? Like, doesn't matter who's around. Doesn't matter whatever. I'm just like, what have you got? A non-alcoholic, and they're like this, that, and the other. I'll be there all night till 4 a.m. Probably shouldn't be 4 a.m. Like I said, I need my sleep. But yeah, I'll be on my non-alcoholic beers. Yeah, if anyone asks for, like, if we're doing rounds, I'm like, yeah, my boys know. If they don't know, that's me. If they are, do you know what? Someone came up to me randomly, was like, here, have this shot. I hadn't met him before. I was like, I'd love to, but I can't. They're like, why not? I said, I'm on anti-seizure medicine and stuff like that. So like, I've got used to, I've adapted to all of that. So yeah,
mate, you're a strong man, and I appreciate
keep going. It's like,
I appreciate you sharing it with us, mate, because it's fucking mad. And I mean, to keep on being as positive as you are is inspiring.
You just got to. And I mean, like, you see my Instagram stories, like, it's like I'm taking the piss out of myself because that makes me laugh. And another thing that I love to do is to make other people laugh. I feel like that's part of the reason I'm on this world. Like, I'm in this world to like try and make someone laugh. There's a lot of unfunny stuff, a lot of weird stuff. I've got a wide range of weirdness and humour from the
I
dark to the
reckon you
weird.
should just get your guitar out, geez, and
Yeah, that would be funny. That would get people laughing. I'm actually getting it. I'm getting it back
it might
soon.
just be
Yeah.
me laughing, mate, but it's fine.
But yeah, I just want to make people laugh and just try and spread the positivity, which makes me feel good as well. So there's a bit of selfish element there as well. So and it keeps me going. And
But that's the most
yeah.
important thing. If it's helping you, mate, that's the most important thing, isn't it? Really, like.
Yeah, do you know what? I see it hand in hand, helping me, and if me making someone's laughs, and they
Of
like find it
course, of
funny,
course.
that yeah, that comes hand in hand.
Yeah, mate, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
Mate, I'm so happy that you've let me come on. I'm definitely so keen going forward to get involved more behind the scenes or come on to chat more about any other topics. But thanks for letting me share my story. Yeah, we will make it. I keep saying like I'll make it, but no, it's we will make it. My dad's put enough effort in, my friends and everyone, and you've put enough effort in. My journey is our journey, and we will make it to the other side, and hopefully we can help other people with similar stories get through their issues and make it through the other side and get to stages like where you are. I know you still have your moments, but you're a cracking lad, and yeah, I'm proud
Thanks,
of you as
mate.
well, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, all right, mate. Cheers, bro. I'll
Well,
catch
have a
up with you
lovely
soon.
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See you,
man.
mate.
Take care.